Alright friends, welcome back in the Golden Tea Lounge. Kevin Lindsay here. It is the start of another week. Happy Monday. Hopefully you are close to getting through the end of their day. It is 3:30 in Chicago, so this is how I'm going to wrap up my day. We are taking a look at Baja Ria. So you guys have seen the first 12, 13, 14 holes, whatever we went through over the last few weeks. You've seen the screenshots. You've seen the teases here and there. But you have yet to see the last of this course, and that is what this live stream is here to do for you today. So let's get things started. If you've been joining us for a while, we talked about this in at least the last video. Baja Ria, when you first saw it, looked a lot different than it does now. It started off as kind of a red sand course, and Jim Z and Mike Sanchez and the art team decided to change that up. All right, look at that. Hole 1, shot points. We're already doing well. But, so the artist made this change to a more white, clear sea sand, or whatever you want to call it. And it actually, it took me a little while to get used to it, but it actually makes this course pop that much better. So, so kudos to them. And I'm very much looking forward to you guys getting a chance to get out there and playing this course in September. We start shipping, I would say Ultra Shot, I'll just go home now. We start shipping Golden Tee 2021 at the end of September to commercial locations. Home Edition owners will get that update later in October. There are a handful of beta releases that will be going out this year, probably early September, around September 11th or so. So make sure to check with your location, your operator, your vendor, whatever the case may be. Find out if they are going to get the beta, and if not, see if they can reach out to their sales rep and do so. And at the very least, make sure that they are going to be purchasing the 2021 update because, you know, 7 new courses, again, loads of time-release content. I think this year, between the Freaky Friday casual courses, the time-release courses, and the brand new Jim Z creations, this year is going to be a lot of fun. Now, this one with Baja, the par 5s are going to be a little long. And including hole 16, which I'm excited to show you guys. It's not a terribly challenging hole, but it's still pretty fun. This entire course, the way I designed it, the par 3s are pretty straightforward, give you a good opportunity at a hole-in-one, but still challenge you on some of the longer drivable par 4s, and of course those par 5s. And you guys will start seeing, we just finished our newest ad for the Home Edition in the 2021 update, but if you order a game starting a little bit earlier today, you will get the Golden Tee 2021 update included as part of that purchase. So, and just because I saw her earlier jump on the stream, you can talk to Josh Pick or my girl Kelsey Marlega on the home sales team, home.goldentea.com, and get more information about getting a Home Edition. It's I'd say do it now. Don't wait, because they are selling like hotcakes, and we're keeping up with the demand. But you know, say mid-October, mid to late October is kind of what we're targeting for the Home Edition update. And of course, as we get more information and you know, actually finalize that date, Ironclad Concrete, we will make sure you guys all know as well. Beatman, Randy, Corey, Brian, thank you guys for joining us. Brian, they are taking a look at that. It's not on me. The sign I saw was correct, and then somebody pointed out in the video that the course one got switched around. So no, they will take care of it. We are still working on the final bug fixes, code changes, that kind of stuff. Same thing we're always doing at the end of August, rolling into September, and then about a week or two in is when we kind of we have our code lock, as we call it internally with the dev team, and then that way we can start focusing on the beta release, and then also any patches that we might need to have as these courses go live to everybody at the end of the month. You can kind of see this here. Hole 8 again. One of the holes you guys have seen before in some of the previews and streams. Not a difficult par 5, but you just have to be a little bit careful of that water in front of the green. You really, even I can't think of a good reason why you'd end up in the water on this hole, but I'm sure we'll find a way. Corey, as of right now, there are no changes scheduled for the home edition this year. Oh! Did my TV shut off? Weird. Okay, so for some reason my TV just had a hiccup. I was looking at my computer like the stream's still going. Not sure what happened there. It's actually never happened before. But yeah, no changes scheduled to everything in terms of the home edition. Still going to have events for prizes, invitational contests, all that stuff. Hole 9. For those of you that have been around a while, this kind of reminds me in a weird way of Tundra Peak Hole 9, just without the terrible drop and the snow, kind of replaced by the sand. Again, beautiful water that our artists and team have worked on, and just don't want to hit it. How beautiful. I was going to say Fringe would be my friend there. Come on. If you guys didn't watch the live stream on Friday from Freaky Friday, don't. It's very heartbreaking. I will admit I kicked the game. That's how upset I was, because it was this close to a lot of good shots. Alan Phillips asks, will Golden Tee Go get course updates in the future? So, unofficially, we are talking about and working on the plan to potentially include newer courses or course updates, and even potentially online features for the Go. But we've got a lot of irons in the fire right now, so realistically, unless something miraculous happens, I would not expect there to be a Golden Tee Go update in terms of software before 2021. Again, I could always be wrong. It's happened a time or two. You can ask some of my exes about that. But all kidding aside, I would say with everything we're focusing on with Golden Tee 2021, the Retro Raccoons game that you can sometimes see behind me in the background here, and a few other fun projects we're working on, I would say Golden Tee Go, we are talking about it. It is a possibility. It is most likely going to happen. I just can't say for 100% certainty that when it will happen. But I would say, and if you guys have bought a Go, make sure you register the game with us so we can get updates and information and news sent to you guys, as well as filling out the survey, because the survey definitely helps. And out of the games we've sold so far, a lot of people have been giving us some really good valuable feedback. So, all right, hole 11. This one you've seen this in the preview from last week, but I really wanted to highlight this tiered green. You'll see the tiered green a few times throughout not only Baja but also the rest of the 2021 courses. Just be careful around them, especially for a shot like this. Thankfully, my test bag does not have super spin, but my regular production bag that if I was out in a bar playing a game of Golden Tee with you, I'd have super spin on my club here, which would be a little dangerous. I think I mentioned this in last week's preview too on this hole. The elevation changed, so obviously the green is a bit higher than where you are, so you have to take that into account if you have partial spin, super spin, or any kind of spin on your clubs. Because I have no extra spin other than the regular back spin on my grabbers and a 12-mile-an-hour wind, I'm just going to go ahead and punch this forward and let the wind kind of take care of business for me. Alan, appreciate it. Depending on where you're watching, it says Facebook, but I'm not sure if it's Golden Tee Fan or Golden Tee's Facebook page. Feel free to share the video and subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. The spiel I always give you guys. Nick, thanks for joining us on YouTube as well. Again, this is another one of those really long par 5s, couple different ways to play it. At least right now, from the tees I have seen, and granted these are stats play tees, so they're not prize play or contest play, which will vary a little bit here and there. Your best bet is always just going to be to high tee it and go to the right here. Knowing Jim Zielinski after a few years here and knowing what he's done with the new tee boxes the last couple of years, I have a real good feeling that the dynamic tees that you guys saw last year, which pretty much means, you know, give or take, anywhere in this dark green rough area and maybe even a little bit in the sand can have a tee box. I have not seen the new tee boxes that will come out in spring of next year, but I have a feeling that this fairway over here is going to play more into those later tees. So, especially for this, I actually don't even need a tee. I'm just going to go ahead and punch it out there. So this one is technically a longer par 5, but realistically, you'll probably end up with a short iron to go at the double eagle opportunity here. Josh McDaniel asks, can you get up tiers putting now? I know they were taking a look at it, but I have not heard much of it. There's just been a lot of other stuff in terms of developmental work going on for just the core 2021 courses and everything. But I will check in on that. You know, the stouts and all those other golf balls, different conversation. Here is where we left you guys last week. Desert Oasis, our design hole winner for Golden Tee 2021. And yes, this sign has a misspelling on it, but it does not take away from the fact that Brian created a hole and won the contest. We will get that sign fixed, though. Also want to point out the water looks pretty damn beautiful. Now this hole, I love it. I tried convincing Jim Zielinski to make this hole 17 and make it a little bit shorter, but it ended up at hole 13. I'm not going to argue with him. He's only created, you know, like 300 courses or something. He's much smarter than I am. But seeing all these trees around this little island, par 3, for being a hole 13, it's going to be pretty tough. I've got a 10-mile-an-hour wind here. 6-iron could get there, but again, I have super spin on there. And my next club is a 5 hybrid, which I very well know is not going to clear those trees and not something I want to deal with. So, in this instance, for today, I'm going to just high tee it with bite. I moved it over a little bit just so I can play into the wind a bit better. Let's just hope it, as long as it stays dry, that's all that matters to me. Alan, congratulations on being a top 10 finalist. Do appreciate hearing that because, you know, there were a lot of really great designs this year. All right, I already hear the mouth in my ear complaining about this par 4 because not only is it offset, which is totally a Jim Z call, but it's also a down 8 par 4 with some pretty decent elevation changes. Nothing radical like Montes Bios, but enough that you gotta think about it while choosing your clubs, basing all of your, you know, thoughts with that down 8 green slope in mind too. Made that look pretty easy, but it's not always going to be the case there. I've had a couple of wins where they were blowing left, blowing right. Makes it a little bit tougher to land that green pretty clean. All right, hole 15, par 4. I feel like Jim has strayed more and more away from the regular par 4s. The fun thing about this, at least this setup here, I'm just going to go ahead. Anyone who has played Golden Tee knows that you've missed an up 8 putt before. Always suggest that when you have an up X putt, whether it's up 5, 10, whatever, and you're probably 30 or more feet out, just go ahead, click left one, see how the green slope changes. You can see here it goes from an up 8 to an up 8 left 2, and then go over right 1. It's only right 1. So this one is going to play a hair to the left, but not as bad as some of the courses or some of the setups I've personally seen. Now, see how it's still, I hit that pretty straight, but because up a 48-foot putt, it barely grabbed on at the end there. Randy, how many rounds on this course have you played? Honestly, this is probably going to be the first one that I've gone through the entirety of it. Just because we've been playing these holes in casual mode for real-time rivals, recording shots for that. Some of the holes they've been working on and tweaking over the last few months and rearranging everything like that. So this is realistically the first full round I've really played outside of skipping around a bunch of stuff. Now, I did mention hole 16 was going to be tough. Was not expecting it to be this tough for the preview where I'm live. But hey, that's the nature of the game. That's how it goes. So, I am going to crush a high tee with roll. And what I'm doing is I'm aiming it to the left because that sand and that fairway are all going over to the right. I want to get on the middle as close, in the middle as close as I can. This green down 4, left 5, not as bad as I honestly would have expected for a hole 16. But I think it's kind of because that fairway is a challenge to get to within certain limits. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I would say, Josh, typical par in this course probably going to be 28. Now, it's going to be 28 depending on hole 17. I'd say hole 17 and hole 18 are going to take any good score that you have up until that point and probably punch it in the face. And I mean that in the best way possible. So let's take a look at this. Up 4, left 9, 89 yards. Again, thankful that I don't have super spin or partial spin on my 9-iron. You got this big rock wall that is not going to play well. If you have played Golden Tee 2020, think of Castleshire 17 and kind of imagine that same type of rock wall here. And there's really no, unless you happen to hit the green up here and the ball slowly trickles down past the hole and then stops on the fringe, don't expect that fringe to stop or save your ball or anything. I've had a couple of looks on here where I was going straight at it, which was nice. And I believe there's another couple tee boxes that are somewhat up a little bit higher but more straightforward. This one, because I have my zero hybrid set, I have the 9-iron, I have a lob wedge, I have no gap wedge. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that 11-mile-an-hour wind to my advantage. I'm going to turn left 1. I'm just going to hit it straight and honestly hope for the best. So because I didn't have super spin, now super spin on that particular shot would have been very beautiful because it would have kicked back a little bit farther. Now I've got to worry about a right 10 putt that is kind of leaning a bit downwards as well. And I somehow missed it high side. So not a big deal. Just something that, once you guys get your hands on these courses at your local bar, restaurant, whatever the case may be, it's going to take some time to get used to. Now, hole 18 here, much nicer look than I've seen in the past. I will tell you right now, there are plenty of Jim Zielinski. Oh, look at this guy. Hold on a second. Did not know this guy was here. Hi, little buddy. I feel like Adam Kramer right now saying hello to the animals. But, wow, that's cool. Nice to see. Hopefully I don't hit it. I can definitely tell you right now there are plenty of tee boxes that will put you right behind those trees. So just because this one kind of leans on the somewhat easier scope, we'll play another game after this. Definitely not going to be the case. What I am tempted to do is to take my 3 hybrid and just pound it straight and try to land on those little sandbanks behind the green. Only because if I take the 6 wood, that 13-mile-an-hour wind is going to come into play a lot more, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But let's see what we could do here. Actually, you know what? Just for the sake of this, I'll keep it on. I'll keep the 6 wood. We'll just kind of go at it. We'll hit a soft 6 wood and hope for the best. Oh, look at that. Beautiful fringe rough love. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, it looks like, at least based on this game and some of the other games I've kind of pieced together, 28 is going to be your typical par. But again, those dynamic tee boxes that Jim Z and the team put in for last year's version. Oh, well, you guys are going to get another look at hole 18. I forgot I have I've got a dev setting on that allows us to kind of skip through the holes and not kick us out of a game. So let's turn that off. But it's actually nice because it'll give me the same win, just a different pin tee setup there. But it lets me keep my 27, which is going to throw a lot of you off. Let's see if I can ace it for a 30. Nope, nowhere near that. But, again, 28 is going to be typical par. There may be a few holes that are you know, fringe drivable, but I think Baja, for the most part, is pretty straightforward. All right, I probably broke it. Oh, there we go. Like I said, lots of testing of some stuff going on. All right, Baja Ria. We'll get one more game here. Look at that, beautiful, 29 under, even though it was really a 27. Do appreciate the Golden Tee 2005 throwback stats in there. Not sure why that file's there, but hey, that's why there's testers. So, shot a 27 that previous game, should have been a 28. Let's see if we can get, we had some pretty good GSPs. Again, I kind of need to get my club set changed so I have my G wedge because there is zero use for a zero hybrid on this course. At least that I can see yet. I really just wanted to just chip on the first hole just to flex my chipping skills. Hole 2, I got a good feeling about is going to produce some pretty fun hole-in-ones with those big sand dunes, or whatever you want to call them, in front of the green. Yes, John Tour, the rare 19-hole, 29 under. Now you can kind of see it here with hole 3. You know, compared to some of the preview holes, a little bit different. These tee boxes, a lot of these courses, with the exception of maybe Hidden Temple, feel very open. And I know that Jim Z's kind of listened to our feedback from the team and also the players that, you know, more variety in the tee boxes. So I'm excited to see how that plays out over the course of GT 2021. Dream of the day, an auto-tune trackball is done. What do you mean by that, Randy? Alright, we're going to go at this one with no spin. See if we can get a nice little kick. Another hole 5. And I always look at this because there's a lot of YouTube potential, and we'll start going through the list and pulling up what we call the bounty holes, where you guys and gals can win Golden Tee 2021 swag and some gift cards and all that kind of stuff. Don't think there's too many holes on Baja right now, but there's definitely a lot of holes in some of the other courses. Oh, that one kind of flew by a little bit more than I expected there. So same thing with the rest of the week. We'll be previewing the rest of the 2021 courses. Kick? Oh, I'll do it. I'll take it. Am I going to send it to YouTube? It's not that good. I got it on live stream. That's all that matters. But Tuesday and Wednesday will probably be a little bit later, around 4:30 when we do these live streams. And then we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go through the rest of the week. Also going to try to get Adam Kramer in here for one of the live streams, just to talk about the developmental process a little bit. Now that he's at the helm of everything. And, of course, he's still a Golden Tee diehard at heart. So I know he's busy with a lot of different irons in his fire, but I know he'll be able to make some time for you guys probably later in the week. Maybe as we take a look at Hidden Temple and Monte Ceballos. Angela, no new news about Worlds right now. Unfortunately, we're kind of all at a standstill with events right now. So, oh, that pulled. That was a terrible shot. So tempted to mulligan it, but I'm going to refrain from it. Never mind. I can. So I will. Just for you guys. Well, see, I had a better line that time, but too hot. But yeah, unfortunately, no real updates on Worlds. It's kind of at a standstill for both the mobile game and the arcade game. And we're kind of just playing things by ear and seeing how the world goes over the next few months. Now, first game we played, hole 10, this par 5, was very easy to kind of punch it out there. Now you got to be careful because this area right here, I guess I could do this because I'm not in production, but this area right here, although you could still probably get to the green in 2 from here, obviously you're better off in the rough or the fairway. This shot in particular, I'm just going to go over one and just kind of hit a little full and do exactly, I wanted to do exactly that just because it's so much easier to hit a double eagle if you've got if you've got a little bit of a hybrid off the fairway with some bite. And then, of course, some fringe love. Derek Jet Facebook asks, I need an option for an apron for my player. I'm cooking the courses. How soon for an apron? That's actually pretty funny. I'm kind of surprised we haven't done one yet, but I will definitely point out, bring it up to the artist and see what they say. And this is actually a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. So, you see these little rough patches? This is where I was at last game, where we were hitting up here. Now we're on the completely far other side. Oh, look, and there's a little bike here. This is how we got to this is how we made it all the way here to the other side of the course. Now, the trouble that we talked about on the previous tee box of this hole, the problem of that tiered green and kicking it off the rough. Now we have the opposite problem, which is you got to be careful, especially because, hey, I have a hole in 1. I got a good game going on. I don't want this to hit the tier and then have to put up the tier. So, pro tip, regardless of what equipment you use, don't let your ball fall down onto the bottom tier because it's not fun. I've blown plenty of really good games on that, unfortunately. Same thing here for this par 5. I'm just going to go ahead and punch it out there. Oh, downslope is not downslope wasn't strong enough for the ball to roll in the cup, but I'll take the eagle. Randy, go to goldentea.com and click on the contact us and shoot us an email with some of the locations that you're having issues with, and we'll see if we can take care of them for you and talk to the operator, see what's going on in the area, because believe me, as somebody who's walked into a Buffalo Wild Wings and they had a golden tee and I was very excited, or other locations, and then the trackball doesn't work. It is, it's not fun and can kind of really ruin things. So, all right, now hole 13, our design hole, Desert Oasis. Now I've got another problem that I have, which is super spin, 6-iron. Again, the pin is much closer this time, so I'm going to high tee it with bite. Now I do know that it will kick back a little bit still, but that's kind of why I'm using the bite. Because backspin, even with a high tee, especially with a wind in your face like that, it will kick back pretty quickly. Ah, yes, now, so this hole was pretty easy the first time around. Now it's a bit more difficult. Down 8, 13-mile-an-hour wind blowing at my back. What I'm going to do is try to cut it around, hopefully hit the green, let the green slope and the wind do some talking. It's actually pretty much exactly what I wanted to do. But if you've ever rolled over a putt that's down 5 or greater, always putt to the sea, take a second, pull back, and then putt again. It's a somewhat tried and true method, but it helps slow down the rollers in the trackball or something like that. I don't know. The good players tell me that, and it sometimes works. Now, last time on hole 15, we just punched this into the sand to have a nice shot out of the Baja Ria desert sand for birdie onto the green. This time, I'm going to try to get it to stick on the fringe. There we go. First cut. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. I've got an 8-wood, so I got to push this carefully. Especially with that down 8 green slope, it's going to blow and hit that green and run pretty quickly. That wind will take it away. Didn't get too crazy there, actually, but let's see. So I got a hole in 1. Yeah, so we're pretty much on 28 pace again. Now this shot's going to be a little bit more difficult because I've got a 12-mile wind blowing out to the right. So what I'm going to probably do, I think, there's no chance I get to that second fairway. Your one option you have is you can, well, we don't even need it. We can use the fancy cameras. You can hit it down here. The problem with that then is I'm now hitting to a bottom left pin with a 12-mile wind blowing to the right around cacti. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put bite on, and I'm going to kind of hit my shot into the sand here, and hopefully, yeah, it's gonna stay pretty clear. Now I've got a clear line of, clear path to the green. Still gonna have to be very careful with it because it's a shorter look. So now I've got a 6-wood, and 6-wood does not cut well. So I got to hit this really slowly and let the wind kind of do most of the work, which actually is spot on. Maybe I should just not play any other course except Baja, because apparently after my first 18-hole round, I'm now really good at it. Alright, now here, this is perfect. So, hole 17, now I'm a bit farther back, and I've got a 15-mile-an-hour wind in my face, up 9 green slope, and a left 3 green slope. So, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to put bite on my 5 hybrid with a medium T, and I'm just going to hit it. Now, it's kind of, in my head, it's lined up where I'm kind of taking away the left portion of the 15-mile-an-hour wind. I'm going to let the green slope and the offset T that I set do the work there. What I want to do is make sure that I hit the green or even that little fringe spot. If I hit the rock first, all bets are off. But I also don't want to hit it soft enough that I just roll right into the water like that. Yeah, and like I was saying before, no matter what you do, And I'm going to use a mulligan, not because I want to protect my score, but just to kind of walk through the shot with you. As Stu Fox just pointed out on YouTube, no bite. That was kind of what I wanted to test. So I'm going to do the same thing with no spin. The other thing, as John Turturro just said, putting release on there. Although I've had that happen in the past where putting release on it, but let's just test it out. Put release on it. I've had it where it actually will roll down faster. Now, granted, I hit that one a little bit farther to the left and didn't have much of an issue. But let's see. Let's try one more method without any spin. The problem without spin is I worry that it will bounce on the green too much. It kind of like hop down just like that, which can be fixed by hitting it a little bit harder. Now, see, with that shot, I hit it soft enough, or excuse me, I hit it far enough on the green where it slowed down by the time it hit the fringe, which is what I was talking about the first time, and this is what you don't want to do. Oh, look, did I barely... I think I might have actually somehow hit the... Oh, yeah, I just barely hit the green there and actually missed the rock wall. And since we're just screwing around, because we'll probably get out of here, I'm being... Let's see. I don't even know if you can do a full on this. Can you? I don't know. I don't hit fulls ever, really. If I do, it's kind of accidental. Full being where you pull it to the A or the C and you hit it straight. Alright. Should probably move on from this hole. I'm going to ace this really quick. And then we'll move on. What? Oh, you know what I did? So it hit the fringe, the rock, and then tucked in that little corner. That's actually pretty hilarious. Alright, you know what? I'll just show you. Don't ever putt this. It comes off surprisingly clean, but it's going to definitely kick a little bit extra left because of that little divot in there. So if you're going to do it, do this. Ta-da. Andrew Reich, hopefully you got all that paperwork sent in to get your home edition online. But thank you for getting one of those. Promise, as somebody who's owned one or owns one himself, you're not going to be disappointed with it. And perfect. Look what I was talking about. This is one of those tee boxes. Granted, I am wide open spaces right here. It almost feels like the cacti are giving me the middle finger because I'll probably screw the shot up. The 16-hour wind's probably going to help me here. But look at this. I don't have a lot of room to work with. I got some rocks. Oh, Steve, I'm in development mode, so I can use mulligans whenever I want, but we were just kind of walking through some of the setups on hole 17 and different ways to approach the giant elevation change in the up 9 green. So, not a lot of places that you can, hit here. Pretty much just a set of rocks in front of the green if you don't actually make it there. So that's the problem with a lot of those tee boxes. You're not always going to have a nice, lovely setup like I did last time, where I had a 13-mile-an-hour wind blowing away from the cacti onto the green. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to move my tee this time. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the 5-wood. Now this is one of those where ultra shot. Ultra shot's probably the only chance that I have of actually acing that hole. So, I've got a hole in one earlier on a par 3, so I will end up with a 29 here. The mulligans I chose did not, or the mulligans I hit did not affect my score. I was still hitting the same thing. Well, 17 maybe. But that is your 18-hole preview for Baja Ria. We've got more to come for the rest of the Golden Tee 2021 courses. I will do my best to get Adam Kramer in here this week. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to Jim Zielinski next week as well. Talk about kind of his thoughts and the creative mind he has while building this course and a bunch of the other ones. So Thank you for joining us. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for more giveaways and cool stuff. And we will see you guys. Wait for it. All right. We will see you guys next time.